Hello and welcome to this week's morning edition of the Football Talk podcast. There's
Hello.
Dave. Dave
Yeah,
thumbing it
well,
up. Couple of thumbs right
double
up there.
thumbs.
Whoop. Double thumbs. That's
Who's
what you call
awake
it,
in
is
the
it?
afternoon
Okay.
and ready to do a podcast and has two thumbs? Dave Nichols. I've got that. I've got that.
Who's just got up and is a little bit tired? There's two thumbs.
This
This
guy.
guy. Yeah. Well.
That's
Come
what I was
on.
going for. This guy. That's the quote.
Yeah.
That's the quote. Yeah.
Yeah.
Always want to get quotes wrong. You know that, Josh. Fact.
Yeah. Great work that is, Dave. How are you,
I'm good,
David?
thank you. I'm good. I'm admiring our new layout that we've got. That I'm very excited about.
Oh,
I've got to
my
mention it
goodness.
straight away.
Yeah. Talk us through.
This is just the beginning, people. This is just the beginning. Wait until we go onto all the other pages and you get to see me and Josh's face on every single screen. It's brilliant. So normally, when we go to like the Wikifiles and the quiz and it comes up with the quiz and then I'm off camera really thinking and Josh is laughing at me, you'll now be able to see that. So there you go.
If we're going to see more of our faces, are we going to see a drop in our
I
listenership?
don't know if we can have a drop, can we?
Can minus people watch our?
Can they retract viewing? So
Yeah. Actually, it's just like in the kind of in the movements that have happened. Yeah, I really want to distance myself from this podcast. I just want to just erase it from my history. No,
I'm
thank
going
you.
to unsubscribe and then report them to YouTube to get them taken down. Don't do that, people. Don't do that. Anyway,
No.
Josh has been.
In fact, subscribe, please. Yeah. Whilst we're talking about it,
We
subscribe.
actually don't say that enough.
Put a little alarm bell so you know when new videos
Exactly.
come out.
Josh is on
Yeah.
point today. He's in the morning. And he's like, we need those subscribers up and liking and sharing and subscribing. It says it at the top now. It says it just over
Oh.
there, somewhere.
All of there.
Why is it so? It's because my camera's mirrored. There it is. See, it says like, share, and subscribe. Get on it.
You mentioned it. It's actually quite difficult because for some reason, maybe it's my vanity, but when on obviously working from home and lots of video calls, I found myself playing with my hair a lot, and it's annoying how it's mirrored. And because you go, I'll sort it out. No, I've completely ruined it. And you're like, oh god.
It's always the way. It's always the way. But right, subscribe, like the video, share it. Football, Josh, straight into it. Bosh news.
What? News. Luis Suarez. Luis Suarez has
Atletico Madrid.
been somewhat forced out, I'd say, of Barcelona. Emotionally, tears were shed. Messi was upset. Koeman probably wasn't.
I don't think many people. I don't think many people at Barcelona would have been too upset, other than. So I just don't think he's a likable character. I think.
For us, he's one of those people that fans outside the club won't love. But this has caught me by surprise. He's like their third highest top scorer ever.
Yes, I think. Did you tweet that or retweet it from someone? Or I saw it on Twitter. But yeah, it was surprisingly a large amount of goals for someone that's been there 6 years. Is it 6 years?
I think that's also quite a long time for a player to be at Barcelona.
Yeah. I guess so.
I don't know. You look at their attackers.
By thinking about Messi, Xavi, and Iniesta. Everyone else probably is quite a high turnover. Yeah. So
it does help when you're playing alongside the greatest player of all time.
One of the greatest players of all time.
The greatest player. It will improve the goal output. But I mean, he came on, played against his debut for Atletico, and grabbed a couple of goals and assists. So they're laughing
and then
already,
made a
aren't
joke
they?
about himself, which was great. Which is actually one of the more endearing things when he says, "Diego Costa can bring the fight, and I'll bring the bite." Apparently so, yeah. It's obviously been translated because he wouldn't said it in English on Spanish TV. But apparently that is what was said. Yeah, he'll bring the.
I mean, he might actually bring the bite because wasn't there a rumour that Barcelona had a non-biting, anti-biting clause? So now maybe Atletico didn't bring that. He's like, finally, get these teeth back out. Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, he got off to a good start, and I saw photos of him in the Atletico Madrid top. Looks weird. Looks really weird. Looks so. But it's one of those things that's like I never pictured him wearing red and white stripes, and it's just.
And it's funny because we talked about Willian the other week. He looks very natural in his Arsenal kit, but yeah, Luis Suarez doesn't quite look natural in that. But obviously they had to create space, and Morata went back to Juve.
Yeah, I mean,
is there a more overrated player in world football than Alvaro? I mean, must have like 200 million plus spent on him, and the guy's scored naff goals. He's just incredibly elegant
I
when
think
doing so.
that's I think he has the aura of a very good composed striker because of how he looks and how he plays, but he's not really that good in front
Yeah.
of goal. And I think,
Like for Chelsea, he had that lovely hat trick against
yeah,
Stoke, wasn't it? And he just looked like an absolute well-beaten, the poison balance. And the comparison always makes Harry Kane. Like Morata has the poison balance of someone you think would be as good as Harry Kane is, but Harry Kane has the poison balance of someone who has the goal output of Morata. They're just if they swap, Harry Kane would be talked about even higher regard. And if that was also the case, Morata would probably be playing like League One football because he would look bad and
he
play
must
pretty
be he
badly.
must be better than we're giving him credit for, though, because
Oh,
Chelsea,
probably.
Juve, Madrid, Atletico Madrid, Juve. There's some big clubs, so he's obviously doing something right. I mean, he's not going to
Looking
play though. He
handsome.
looks very
Well,
handsome. He's not going to play though, is he? I mean, Ronaldo starts up top. Although last game they started Ronaldo and Klukovski as a front two. So
yeah. Did you see Pirlo's? Was it Pirlo's first 11? I don't know. It was weird. Like Quadrado played left
yeah,
wing back.
and he had Danilo, who I think is there on loan, isn't he, from Man City? They might have signed him permanently, but he was playing as
No, I think it was permanent. The Cancelo deal.
left-sided
Yeah.
centre back, like Danilo. It was very strange. Yeah, it was very strange.
Well, it was similar to obviously Serie A just started up, and Conte's first Inter side was very weird. He's seemingly getting Kolarov to play left centre back. So Alexander
Yeah,
Kolarov, we'll remember from the Man City days, not as someone I would say is a natural defender. He just tries to smack it hard every single
yeah, and
time.
he likes to bomb on.
It clears the lines. Maybe they were just struggling. Maybe he's helping out the goalkeeper with goal kicks to clear the
Proper
lines.
old school at school taking goal kicks. He can't. He's a really good shot
Right,
stopper.
absolutely. Because
Can't
one
kick
of
it for
the
toffee.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, a kid's football, it can really pile on the pressure when that goalkeeper can barely get
Yeah.
out of his own box. It's like, right, okay, they've missed, but literally, boys, just miss because the goalkeeper takes a kick and it ends up at your feet and you've got another chance. So don't worry about it.
But then do they keep missing? So the game is literally just goal kicks.
Yeah, it's actually just a loop.
Shots on goal, 100.
For some reason,
Shots on target, none.
I've now thought that it would be interesting to have XG calculations on kids football to see how ridiculous that would be.
Oh, but your Tottenham had some news as well. Carabao Cup bye.
Yeah, I mean, we had a congested fixture schedule, but we got a buy in the Carabao Cup because we paid for the COVID testing of Leyton Orient. So it's not mandatory in the EFL. Not quite
Yeah.
sure why. It doesn't seem to not have that. Seems like you're asking for trouble, if you ask me. But Spurs paid for it, and it turned out to be quite an astute investment because we paid for Leyton Orient. I think a number of players, like in the tens, I think it was, tested positive. They couldn't play on a Tuesday night. Eventually, it gets announced that it's a bye to the next round. Now, what's going to happen from then on is that I know clubs may offer to test them for COVID, but will they want to?
I thought
Because
that.
because Spurs were really good after this. Lots of Spurs fans started buying it merch from the club shop of Leyton Orient. We spent over like 20, 30,000. So we were trying to pump money into the club because we knew it would have been a bit of money spinner for them. But
I,
it's a bit counterintuitive, isn't it?
It is. But surely this is now the moment where they should the football league should go. Yeah, we need to pay for COVID tests for everyone, because that would have stopped football. Could potentially have stopped football in the UK again, like in England. Sorry, because if you had played Leyton Orient and then your Tottenham players would have had a COVID test before their next Premier League weekend had started. So you would have probably got a positive from that, which meant Tottenham couldn't play, which means the fixtures get messed up, which means football gets cancelled, and everyone goes back to being depressed, and we've got to fill airtime with rumours and transfers, which is fun, but not as fun as actually talking about football.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
Yeah, very annoying.
Yeah.
Very, very annoying. But I quite liked the fact that you heard the news of Tottenham fans went to the Leyton Orient shop and were buying merchandise.
Yeah, that was nice
Yeah,
touch,
it was
wasn't
nice.
it?
Do you thinking,
Yeah.
would it have happened if it wasn't a club so close to London or in London?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was just a gesture. I don't think it really mattered around location. Maybe there was some kind of cross affiliation. There might be their local club may support Tottenham as a main club, but no, I think it would have happened regardless, unless it was like, I don't know, Is there a rival, a Spurs rival? Is it in the lower
I mean, like
leagues?
if it was, I was going to say Millwall, but actually you like sending players on loan to Millwall. If it was,
Yeah, loads of people would have bought tri-parrot shirts.
you got one coming.
Who played for Millwall but came off injured. So he's had a bit of an injured stop-start to the season. So he's not yet on the
He's not
score
because
sheet.
he's rubbish. Well, he's not rubbish. He's just not. If he was that good, he'd be at Spurs, being Harry Kane's backup.
He's like 18.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're that good. Age doesn't matter.
It
Does
does. You can have really good 10-year-olds, Dave. They're not getting in the side, are they? Where does age matter? What's your cut-off point?
Well, hang on. This is getting into. If I give an answer, this could be clipped, couldn't it? Could be to come back and haunt me.
18 and over is your cut-off point, Dave.
Yeah. All right.
Don't think about it. I was giving you an out.
Yeah. But not for football, is it? If they're 16 and good enough, get them in.
No, Dave. No.
Right, let's move on.
Let's move on. News. I mean, most of the news will be focused in the review of this week's football. So I suggest we move on to the quiz.
Just before the quiz, I'm going to chuck in
Go
transfers
on.
because Ruben
Okay.
Diaz is having his medical or had his medical. It looks like it's happening.
Yeah, we had the here we go from Fabrizio
Yeah.
Romano, so it's
It's
a done deal.
At £65 million from Benfica to Man City. Someone very, very, very highly rated on all football games ever doesn't really seem to be too much interested in other clubs wanting him. Maybe it's a case that they knew Man City were interested and Benfica were like,
Yeah, Spurs were interested,
okay.
but I think the asking fee, and we were obviously interested in Skriniar from
Inter.
Inter Milan. Which anything to get Eric Dyer out the side. I mean, I'm not blaming him for yesterday, but I'm also not absolving him from
We'll get onto it.
responsibility.
Yeah, we'll get onto that in the review.
Yeah.
So it carries on a track record of Man City buying defenders for vast sums of money.
How much do you reckon they've spent? Pep's spent on goalkeepers and defenders in his time? This is entering his fifth
Yeah.
season, so we'll exclude Ruben Diaz's fee from this.
Okay, so not with. It's got to be. Well, Ederson was like 50 in goal on his own, I think, and then John Stones was too much.
We're going one by one, are we?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of who they've bought. I'm going to go 227.3 million.
No, you almost need to double that, Dave. It's over 400 million.
Oh my god! Over nearly 400 million.
Think of the fullbacks: Cancelo, Danilo, Mendy, Laporte,
Oh, yeah.
Stones. Yeah, Edison, Bravo. It's been
Fabian Delph.
Happy and Delph, who's not getting a look in the Everton side. Who would have thought it?
Yeah, bloody hell.
Obviously, Otamendi's going out the other way, which I'm sure Benfica fans will be loving, being an ex-Porto player, losing their star centre-back, who the president said they wouldn't sell. They're selling him, and they're getting an ex-Porto player in, and ex-Porto player Otamendi playing in a high line under Jorge Jesus is going to be as bad as successful as it was under Pep. So obviously they do have Jan Vertonghen. Jan Vertonghen is at Benfica again. Jan Vertonghen and Nicolas Otamendi.
That's a thing of dreams. That's a thing
That
of
is.
dreams.
That's there. I wonder if anybody ever had that partnership in fantasy Premier League.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting because what's his track record, Pep's track record like with Bayern and Barcelona?
Buying defenders,
Yeah,
not great. He's obviously got Danny Alves under his wing.
yeah. That's his. Is that his get out of jail?
That's his kind of like, look, I've signed one good defender, but there's he signed Mehdi Benatia at Bayern, didn't really come to much.
Bernat.
Yeah, Bernat. I mean, I had PK. I think was whether that's him or I suppose we can put PK under there. That's two pretty good defenders, but then there's lots of like Gutierrez, Enrique, Adriano. There's a lot of players which didn't really fit the bill. Centre back seems to be well, it's fullback really.
Because what did he inherit at Bayern Munich then? Lahm, Hummels,
Boateng.
Boateng.
Probably been Badstuber at that time. Alaba would have always
Badstuber.
been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jordi Alba. Did he buy Jordi Alba?
Must have been. Oh, was Jordi Alba after him?
I don't know, so I'm asking you.
I'm thinking Jordi Alba would be after him.
Okay, all right. No, but yeah. Well, Pep can't buy defenders very well, or can't? He can.
Oh,
He can
yeah,
buy
I
them
mean,
really well,
I was
but
going to mention it in the review, but it just seemed with a club with endless sums of money, they do seem to have recurring problems which never get fixed, which is
yeah,
just a bit strange,
it's
really.
very strange. Laporte, are you classing him as a success yet?
Yeah, I think Laporte would be a success. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, Kyle Walker, I'd say, would be a success. Laporte, I
Yeah.
mean, Ake was probably their best player yesterday.
Yeah. They did concede 5 goals though.
It's incredible 5 goals. I mean, I turned it on and I was expecting more handball debacles, but it just
Yeah.
shows Jamie Vardy knows how to win a penalty. There are three penalties, two goals from open play, which are two ludicrous goals as well.
Yeah.
It's just, it's a bit of a. I mean, yeah, we'll go on to that in a sec.
We'll
So
get on to
let's
that in a
let's
minute.
let's any more transfers you wanted? Oh, we had Edouard Mendy signed for Chelsea, so
Yeah.
maybe that nightmare is over for Kepa. Well, I
That
read
is.
rumoured to have a fee, like we're going to accept him for 20 region of 20 million for him, which is a lot more palatable for his standard, isn't it?
Yeah. Where do you think he could go, Kepa? Is he no one in the
Home,
Premier League? Surely
just home
home.
to his mum.
Just- but because I think he might do well at Everton, and I've said this to some other people because Pickford's pretty rubbish, and I'd say Pickford.
It is pretty rubbish. Pickford again, he just doesn't. I don't get him.
No,
I don't think
but
he knows what he's doing with his own body. Is my problem.
but I think like Kepa under Ancelotti could do better. Might do better. Ancelotti organises that defence well. I just don't think Kepa suits Frank Lampard's let's go all out attack approach.
No, I'm not sure many keepers will do. To be honest with you.
We'll find out if
Um,
Mendy does. But
yeah, I would say Kepa needs to get out of England.
yeah, okay.
He's tarnished. The media will always be like Loris Karius.
Yeah, yeah, very true.
You've
Very
made a
true.
mistake. You've made numerous mistakes for a club in that country. The media are never going to forget that. He has
Yeah.
very limited chance to kind of repair his reputation with the media, so they get off his back immediately. It'll take games and games and games. Just get out. Just go back to Spain. Go to Betis or Sociedad or something like that, and just cry. Just yeah, because it's a horrible toll on his mental health.
Oh, massively, yeah.
It's just you don't need it. Yeah, I know like footballers will inherently be kind of strong, determined characters, but there's a breaking point for everybody, and the way he gets treated is just he just needs out. I'd say.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Go on then, Josh. Do the theme.
Ooh la 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 la! It's quizzing time. Redacted
You have
again.
to think about that so much.
I
And here
did
we are.
actually. I was like, am I just about to sing Wikifiles? What's going on here?
Yeah. You could have done that. Would have thrown me right off.
Yeah.
So we are on the quiz, Josh. And reminder, they can still see you because now we're on every single page.
I normally pick my nose at this point.
Yeah.
This is awkward. Yeah.
I'm normally
Okay.
sitting there with my head in my hands, going, "Come on!"
So this quiz is titled "Playing Abroad," and so we have four columns. One is the question number. Then we have five questions. One is, and it's all around international tournaments and England squads. So, for example, the first one will be in 1996, so Euro '96. England had a player in their squad who was a midfielder who played abroad. These are all the players who play abroad in the England squad from major tournaments from '96 to present. That make sense?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So if
All
we'd gone back to Euro '92, we'd have had David Platt and Trevor Steven. David Platt playing for Bari at the time would have counted, and Trevor Steven, who I'd never heard of until doing this research, was playing for Marseille.
okay. All right.
Okay.
Yes. Maybe. These. Right. 2014. I'm starting bottom.
Yeah.
2014 goalkeeper Celtic Fraser Forster.
Bingo, bingo, bongo, bango.
2002 04-06 midfielder Bayern Munich Owen Hargreaves.
Yes, you're a fan of Owen Hargreaves, aren't you?
I am not anymore. He's absolutely terrible for his punditry.
He's not great.
Absolutely shocking. And I have the joy of having him quite often on Singapore TV. Well, not
Oh, really?
because they have a studio in the UK, so they obviously don't fly the pundits out here. But they have.
No. Yeah.
I had the dynamic duo of Owen Hargreaves and Sol Campbell as my pundits the other day.
Sol
And,
Campbell.
yeah, that
Oh,
was
God.
that was Man United versus Palace, and then for Man United Brighton, I had Owen Hargreaves and Tim Sherwood, which was arguably worse. than
You
Sol
know,
Campbell.
that is who is worse, Tim Sherwood or Sol Campball? Answers on a postcard, please.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, 2004, 2006 midfielder Madrid. That's got to be McManaman, hasn't it? Oh, Beckham.
Hey!
Yeah. Bloody hell. I was thinking midfielders that have signed for Madrid. I can only think of McManaman, but yeah, no, Beckham, obviously. So, 96 Rangers. Gaza?
Yes, I was about to
Yeah.
get my water bottle and go.
Again, I could crop that and make it
Yeah,
embarrassing.
don't do
Yeah.
that.
And then 96 Inter Milan.
I don't really like this player.
Paul Ince.
Yes. Do you know about my hatred for Paul Ince? I mean,
No, I just I think I just got the timing right. As you said that, it suddenly came into my mind that Paul Ince.
I didn't realise I'd have been so vocal of my Paul Ince.
Oh yeah,
stain.
maybe subconsciously we've had a chat previously, and I've kept it in there somewhere.
It just makes me nervous.
Yeah, what inspired the quiz?
What did inspire the quiz? I was looking at something the other day, and it was the inverse of this. So I was looking at, and I've produced it. I have produced it. It may still rear its ugly head, but it's quite difficult. It was all players in, I think it was Euro '96 or France '98. I can't remember which one. Who were playing all of the squads who were playing in England. And we had a real messy one of like Sheffield Wednesday were really quite prominent, and Coventry were quite prominent, and it was like, this is tough. So I thought I'd reverse it.
Well, I'm gonna shoot myself in the foot a bit here, Josh, and say the quizzes have been a bit easy recently. So I'm game for a bit of a harder quiz, and just accidentally unplugged my mic, folks. There, if you just saw me waving my hands around,
I thought maybe you were just swearing. It was like Forrest Gump actually. There, he was about to give his address.
Yeah,
Vietnam.
I just feel like it was. Your quizzes started off quite difficult, and then I was getting around about 70%. I think I'd say 65, 70%. Then they got medium level, and I was getting around about 8%. Now they've gone a bit easy. That's 100% I've just got there, other than McManaman, and then I quickly corrected it to Beckham.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if that counts as correct, so I'd say you got 80% there, Dave.
Too easy, though, isn't it?
Take your first answer.
It's the first.
All right, Dave. So. Good luck next week.
Cheers, mate. Next week, I haven't discussed this with you yet, but it's United Spurs.
At least United Spurs, 4:30 kickoff here.
Yeah, watch along?
Possibly, yes.
Possibly, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll clear it with the household.
We'll keep it posted. Look out on the Twitter page, and we'll post if we're doing a watch along.
Well, yeah. Would you like a watch along, or would you like a normal podcast?
Yeah, because if we do want to watch along, I'll make some fancy graphic for it, which updates the score. Oh yeah, that'll be good. That'll waste some time when I'm going to be working. But right, yeah, cool. So let's crack on to the
Let's
review.
Move on to reviews, yeah, and a full weekend of football. We've still got some games to play on this Monday night, but we had a pretty interesting weekend, I'd say, Dave. It started off pretty intense. So let's go to the Jesse Lingard derby to start with.
Yes.
And I was actually at Peppa Pig World when this game was going on, as you do. And Dave texted me going, "Where'd you get your XG stats from?" I was like, "Oh, what's happened?" Check the scores. I was like, "Oh, blimey." And he's like, "This might be the most one-sided game that another team's won." So, yeah, Dave, talk me through the Brighton.
Any indication of what I was talking about in terms of before I said this could be the most one-sided game that someone hasn't won? Did you know what the score was?
Yes, I saw it at the same time when it came through because the notification on my phone, and my phone was buzzing away because it was like Rashford disallowed goal, and then there was a normal goal and stuff. But yeah, but I wasn't quite sure which way it had gone because I didn't know the flow of the game.
Because I wasn't aware if you knew that I meant Brighton had dominated us and smashed us but lost. I thought I might have come across.
I thought your interest would be that way round. I thought you'd be like, we've absolutely nabbed this here. So Talk me through it, Dave.
It's absolutely bonkers. It, I mean, we were dreadful.
You didn't deserve to win. It's the most United thing ever
Oh,
to get a penalty after the final whistle's gone.
yeah, yeah. We
Yeah?
100% we didn't deserve to win. 100% it was a penalty.
Yeah.
100% it was
No,
a
I can't
penalty.
argue with that. Yeah.
But it's one of
It's
those
really
things. If
silly.
VAR doesn't exist, that's 2-all. That's 2-all.
Yeah.
Technically, if VAR doesn't exist, then Brighton would have been 3-1 up because they would have got another penalty. So, which VR cancelled.
Well, Rashford would have scored his first goal, I'd imagine.
Yeah, true. So, oh god, ifs and buts and
Let's not talk about this parallel joyous universe where VAR doesn't exist.
yeah, true, very true. But I mean, yeah,
5 times I hit the woodwork. 5 times, wasn't
5
it?
times. Trossard did it 4 on his own. So
Is that not a
it
record?
is a record since Opta have started taking stats. Yeah, since 2002, is it Opta started? 2001 maybe. Yes, it is a record. It was just ridiculous. I mean, I do think De Gea had 2 of the shots that hit the woodwork covered. I do think he had those covered, but defending was woeful, absolutely woeful. We were so far apart. Wan-Bissaka, I think, forgot he had Mason Greenwood in front of him and assumed he had a defensive winger in front of him because Wan-Bissaka like tucked in, which is what you do when your winger comes back. But we definitely play with don't come and defend forwards because that's our plan. Go and hit them on the counter attack, and it was just bizarre, just absolutely bizarre. Wan-Bissaka, I've never seen.
Go and hit Brighton on the counter attack is a bit of a
Yeah,
bleak.
well, that's the problem, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, I can't. You can't be too negative about it because we won. Like at the end of the day, we got 3 points. But yeah, trying to play.
3 more points than you deserve, apparently, because you played 3 more minutes than you deserve.
Oh, here we go. But I mean, yeah, it was. We didn't deserve 3 points at all. I think Brighton deserved to win. I don't think we even deserved the draw. They were by far the better team. The stats show that. They completely outplayed us. We got. I mean, Rashford's goal was good.
Were you screaming to shoot?
Yeah, all the time. All the time. And I was actually
It
watching
almost messed it right up. It gets a chunky block on it.
Yeah, I know, yeah. And who blocked it? Was it Dunk?
Dunk.
Was it Dunk? Yeah.
Dunk,
He
yeah.
looks around and thinks he's put it wide as well, and his face.
As soon as it goes in, he's like,
yeah.
Yeah.
He also got an own goal, didn't he? So Harry Maguire still hasn't scored for Man United, which is impressive. And then
"Oh, was that an own
yeah,
goal?"
it's
was
a
it?
Dunk OG, so it's an Oggy for Dunk. It's gone down as.
The OG.
Mbappe looked decent.
Lovely penalty.
Yeah, really. Wow, he hit it a bit high, didn't he, for a Panenka?
I bet. He didn't move for a little bit. He was like,
Yeah. And then it's just a bit. It's just a bit crap, really. Everything's just a little bit crap. Pogba's been rubbish, and Bruno's been quite good, and then Bruno does something that will mess up, and if Bruno doesn't score that penalty, he's probably had a bad game. For his standards that he set, he's probably had a bad game. Matic, could arguably one of our better players, and did you want that from your 32-year-old holding midfielder?
Is he still getting assist for an own goal?
Yes, I think he does. Yeah, I think that's how it works. So, it's just annoying. Pogba looks so off the pace. Oh God, I just headbutted my microphone. There you go. Finally, I know Ross has been waiting for me to do that for a while. Pogba looks so far off the pace because I think he's been rushed back from his COVID test.
Of course, yeah.
So I just don't know why we didn't just start Van der Beek and give Pogba a rest. That's why we've bought him in for this squad depth. But
Okay.
I'm just sort of talking nonsense because I don't really want to talk
Brighton
about
it. Brighton didn't get anything. You got something, and that leaves you sitting pretty. Really, that was a nice win, and you need to win those games where you're not going to be you're not on top of it all the time. Let's move on. Because that's done. We got the Thomas Meyer derby, the Palace v Everton, and we have that first match. Obviously, had a handball penalty. We have another handball penalty here, and this is less of a penalty.
It's more contentious. It's more contentious.
So this obviously Everton won. First time they'd won. They've won 3 games at the start of the season for how many years? And Ancelotti is turning Dominic Calvert-Lewin into kind of peak Pipo Inzaghi. It's a bit of a strange.
It's incredible, isn't it? It's absolutely incredible. He's playing so well. I said Ancelotti would do well with Everton. Did I pick them as my? I think I might have picked them as my surprise package. Everton. I'll have to go back and have a look at that. But in fact, I'm going to go and look at our OneNote now. But yeah, it's incredible. Calvert-Lewin's just can't stop scoring. When it's got to end, isn't it? It's got to end. It's got to end.
Yeah, who's going to end first, him or Bamford?
Bamford, 100%. Yeah, Bamford's terrible.
But this is a game that Everton would normally have drawn or lost, and they end up winning. So it's good progress for them. And for me, is that Allen and Doucouré central midfield is just such a massive step up.
It's just Allen doesn't stop running. He's got so much energy and stamina. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And I think having him sitting and then Doucouré in front of him is just. It's such a good partnership. I've been a big fan of Doucouré. Yeah. I've liked Doucouré for a while. I think I'd like to have signed him potentially at United, but then we've got Van der Beek, so he's arguably better. But you wouldn't take Doucouré at Spurs?
No, I was never a big fan, to be honest with you.
Right.
Just workmanlike, loves a burst forward and a counter, but no, it's not something I. Thing is, for Everton, it's very much changed around because of the players they've got in their first 11. They need to keep this run going to breed that confidence, because there will be a time that the side has to rotate. You won't be able to start Alan Doucouré in central midfield. James will be out for a little bit. Dominic Calvert-Lewin will have to have a rest, something like that. They will need to. They want to keep this forward momentum going as long as possible.
Yeah.
So that when new players have to come in, there's already the confidence around it. If this is kind of like if you come into a side and going, we know we're a step down here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if footballers feel like that, but they probably should do if you bring in like Tom Davies and Fabian Delph into your centre midfield instead of Alan and Doucouré.
I think it's the rotation is Ancelotti has to get it right for when he rotates certain players, because you can't, like you say, you'll need to rotate them, but you don't want to do them all at the same time. Like he won't want to take James and Richarlison out at the same time for two new. They're like maybe putting Sigurdsson and Iwobi on at the same time, which you'd.
Iwobi.
He was
man,
awful when he came on. Absolutely.
He
shocking.
just loves losing that ball.
Yeah. Once he lost the ball.
£40 million.
He was on the right back position and he lost the ball and then won it back and then passed it straight to a Crystal Palace player, like on about just before the halfway line. It was the most ludicrous 40 million spend I think I've ever heard of. That Iwobi. Was it 40 million?
Yeah, it was 40 million.
Absolutely ludicrous. Crystal Palace, is it going to knock the wheels off? Obviously started very well, but
no, I think well, I mean, it'll always be fine margins. I think where their games resulting, because they keep it tight, but hopefully not. I think I do have a little. I don't mind a bit of Palace. I like Zaha. I like Roy Hodgson. So I hope it wouldn't derail it. Let's see what they got coming up. Oh, Chelsea away, Brighton at home, Fulham away, Wolves away. It's a mixed bag there, but I think they've signed quite well. They actually have addressed some problems and signed some good players so far.
Okay, cool.
So
did you want to have a quick?
Right, let's move on to
quick chat about Pickford. Gordon, that we said would mention him.
Right, he doesn't know what he's doing. Like, this is Kurate goal. He sets himself back behind the line.
Yeah.
Again, you remember he did it last year. He set himself. He was behind the line, and that was a lot was going on. But he also then crosses his feet and doesn't get anywhere near anywhere. He just basically puts his hand in the area he was rather than springing anywhere. Yeah. It's just I think there's just some real failings. I mean, I'm going to blame Sunderland now at coaching level, at youth level. He seems to have just let it go all out of his head. It's just awful.
Did you see the when he did his star jump? Someone had a header at the back post and they headed it down into the ground, and if it had gone on target it would have gone under him because he just jumped so high in the air like this, legs wide apart.
That brought me sort of some news during the week. Obviously Spurs played in the Europa League and they'd chosen smaller goals, didn't they? You see this?
Yeah, they had chosen them. They had broken the rules with goals that were set.
Yeah, but somehow they had some small goals knocking about and they had to go and fix them. But there's small goals knocking about.
Maybe they've been doing it all season and no one's checked them. They just had those small goals.
Why are these goalposts sitting down down a hallway somewhere? What's in the goal? No, they're just the kids' goals.
The training posts. So
yeah, and people are like, how can you tell 5 centimetres? Well, I'll tell you how you tell 5 centimetres. If you're a goalkeeper and you reach up and you can't touch it, when you're a goalkeeper who reaches up and can touch it, it's smaller.
Yeah, exactly. Wasn't it Mourinho that went, I can touch
Mourinho's
I can touch the bar, yeah, and he's like...
And then there's Lloris, who's actually touching it. He's like, he'll know.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
For his 35 years, in all his time playing, he's never been able to reach the bar before. Now he can reach the bar.
Yeah,
That's how you know.
yeah, he'll know.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So Pickford, who's number one then? England. Who'd you go with right now?
Well, as soon as De Gea gets out, it's textbop England to choose a first choice goalkeeper who's not playing first choice for their club, though.
But if that works, if that wins us the World Cup,
Euros.
Well, yeah, the Euros, true, the Euros. All right then. That's enough about Everton.
Okay, so let's move on to the Nicholas Anelka derby, 3-3, and this was one of the pieces of my bets to be over 2.5 goals. And now I did not expect it to come
Yeah.
about in this fashion. West Brom going 3-0 up.
It prompted an Eric Cantona gif.
Well, no, that was when the final piece of the jigsaw went through. That was when I can't remember. Was this the final piece of jigsaw? I can't remember.
Was it the under 2.5?
I won 2.5
Burnley.
with the Burnley Southampton. Yeah, that was that's one of my favourite celebrations. It's just the pure arrogance of the man. It's just beautiful. I love that. It's like, yeah, what? I just love it. Flick your collar up. Not many collars flicked up these days, are there?
No.
There's a collar flicked up. You'd normally think it's by accident. They haven't folded it down right.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I don't think they normally have. They don't have the strength that those collars used to have. They're often meant to be down collars, aren't they? And they're a bit flimsy.
Yeah, they're a lot
They
shorter
don't have the
as well.
real rigidity, the starchiness
That's
of
it.
those old collars.
It's the starchiness. Yeah, they don't have the starchiness. But
Bring back the starchiness. Talking of kits, Chelsea's kit's awful, isn't it?
Chelsea. Oh, what, the red and blue, peach and
The
blue
pinky-
stripes things?
Horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
It's like they saw Crystal Palace and went, we can make that worse. In fact, was this the clash of the two horrible kits in the league? Because I don't like that.
I do. I hate West Brom's kit.
I hate
for sure,
both of
yeah.
West Brom's kit. I hope the away kit's
I've
disgusting.
always hated West Brom's kit. Like West Brom's kits looks like you could get a Sunday League team with a better kit than that.
100%.
It looks cheap.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, talking of kits quickly, Carlo Ancelotti was wearing a sexy little jacket.
The Rain Mac.
Oh, that was beautiful. I love that. I love that blue and
The jacket or the raincoat?
no, the jacket.
Oh, the jacket, okay. Because the raincoat, when he put his hood up, he literally looked like he should have been moping around on a beach in Bournemouth in the rain, like for his summer holiday. So, but yeah. Well, it's Carlo Ancelotti.
Right, West Brom.
So yeah, West Brom.
Okay. Do you know what that game? What was special about that game?
Well, West Brom scored 3 goals.
It was the first draw in the league this season,
Oh yeah, yeah, bloody hell.
and it shouldn't have been
No.
because we had a handball, which wasn't a penalty because of the rules.
Yeah.
That shouldn't have that because now it's changed this season. The handball for an attacking phase of play needs to be directly involved. It's like, I mean, it's pretty damn close. It's almost like less than 2 seconds between the handball and then tucking it into the
Now,
back of the net.
is it not given because West Brom technically messed up the clearance?
I think that would assist it. Yeah.
Phase of play, as they say. So, I mean, West Brom, this surely is them down. I know it's like the 3rd game of the season, but to be 3-0 up at home, no matter who you're playing against, you've got to hold on to that. You've got to.
Yeah, they can't defend. Cannot defend. It's awful.
Neither
could Chelsea.
can Thiago Silva, yeah.
Thiago Silva. Oh my goodness. Takes time to adapt, guys. That guy with one of the worst debuts. It's just a shocker.
That was absolutely shocking. But I mean, do you know much about Callum Robinson before he scored 2 goals against Chelsea?
But Sheffield United let him go, and Sheffield United haven't scored a goal. Have scored 1 goal in the last 6 games,
Yeah,
so
true.
Probably ruined that. He scored more goals in 1 game than Sheffield United have in the last 6.
There you go. I mean, lovely strikes from him. Lovely left-footed strike across the one that goes across Willie Caballero. But
Who's your favourite Willie? Willie Caballero or Willie Bolly?
Oh, Willie Bolly. Yeah, I think Willie Bolly would be a nice
Oh,
guy.
hey.
Yeah. Hey. But yeah, and then you've got the goal from the corner, which is sort of cleared.
That's a bit comical, isn't it? That's a weird goal.
Yeah.
Like, you don't normally see goals like that. Man marking just wasn't a thing. It was zonal marking, but Reece James at the back post just kind of it's like, oh my goodness, someone there.
Yeah, it was just all over the place. But then West Brom did the same in the second half, didn't they? Like, to give... Did they gift Chelsea 3 goals? No. There was so good...
Yeah.
Was it the first goal from Mason Mount?
Makes him out a little bit deflection on that near post, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
and then Hudson-Odoi, who's come back out of nowhere. I'm pretty sure everyone thought
Yeah.
he was leaving, and he's playing quite well at the moment. He got a good goal, and then Abraham's finish was nice, but
Yeah.
it
I
was
mean,
comical
this
build up.
is define irony. You spend over 200 million on new attacking talent. Everybody can see that your defence is awful. Your defence is awful, and then the 3 goals scored are all by youth prospects, which everybody's worried are going to
Yeah, exactly.
get out the side because of your new attacking talent. It's like, who made that up?
It's
That's just
ridiculous. But at one point they had Chelsea to end the game. Went with. Let me just see if I can find their lineup to end the game, which was absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, it's like two at the back. It's like that's how you get all the players on the pitch.
Yeah, they had Hudson-Odoi, Mount, Abraham, Havertz, Werner, and Giroud all on the pitch at the same time, I think. So I may have got one of those wrong, but I think they had it all on the pitch at the same time. Yeah, Giroud came on for Thiago Silva, Azpilicueta came on for Alonso, Hudson-Odoi came on for Kovacic. So they ended the game with Abraham, Werner, Havertz, Mount, Hudson-Odoi, Giroud, and then 3 defenders.
Not surprised to see Marcus Alonso getting taken off because
Oh.
that guy just—he's such a weird player. He's like when they had David Luiz and Marcus Alonso, they're 2 players who have the talents for not their position, but for not the position they're in.
Yeah.
They have such good attacking talents, such poor defensive talents, but one's a centre back, one's a left back. It's just like you just made it because you're talented, but you're too slow to be further up the pitch. And Marcus Alonso, I bet they can't wait for Chilwell to get him fully fit and get him out the side.
I'm surprised he
It was
didn't.
just a
I'm
shocking
surprised he
display.
wasn't even on the bench, Chilwell, because he played midweek, didn't he, in the cup?
Yeah, just being cautious. I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
All right. Well, Chelsea managed to get something out of that match amazingly. West Brom did not, and that is
Down,
a
down,
bit
down,
alarming.
down. Yeah.
Right, let's move on to the Danny Ings derby. And all I've got to say about this game is I'm surprised Danny Ings celebrated.
I don't.
Being a former Burnley player, I'd have thought he'd have been a bit muted.
Yeah, but I don't care.
Do
I don't
you
care.
not mind that?
I think their job is to score goals, and if you score a goal,
You,
it makes you happy. Celebrate it. Don't do none of this.
Dave, have some. So what? So you wouldn't celebrate? You would celebrate how you do? You'd be Emmanuel Adebayor, would you?
Well, we're doing something doing Adebayor. I'm not going to run the whole length of the pitch and get a chair thrown at me. Also, who takes
One
in
of
a
the
chair
best.
to a stadium? Fair play.
Was he not ripping up a chair?
No, it was a white picnic chair, which suggests they've taken it off the steward. The one one of the stewards sits on. It was one
Yeah,
of
they
them.
ripped a steward's chair from underneath it. Yeah.
But I mean, you've got to be really angry to do that, haven't you? Give me that chair.
I mean, it's one of my favourite celebrations of all time.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go to those lengths, but I'd celebrate, especially being a centre back. I'd celebrate every goal I scored, no matter who it was against.
So you would not be a muted celebration
No.
man, no?
No, I'll be like,
Okay.
no, I've scored a goal, and that's a big pay bonus in my paycheck. So I'm going to celebrate that like there's no tomorrow.
Fair enough, Dave.
Run off doing my shearer like I do, and then
Yeah.
panic and don't know what else to do and jump on someone generally. Yeah.
Okay? All right. There we go. Found out about Dave's
Would
lack
you
of
be
morals
muted
there.
then? You're so horrible. Would you do a muted celebration? Would you be a little mute?
Yeah.
You'd just be like,
Yeah. I'd be muted.
sorry, I didn't
I
mean
wouldn't.
it.
I think I'd be. Actually, no. It's not really in my character. It's all talk here because I'd say I wouldn't want to anger opposition fans and get abuse, but I can imagine me just being very cocksure and going, yeah, I'd be cantonaring it. That'd be just constant cantonaring.
Yeah, you'd be. I bet on the golf course as well. You're like that.
No, I'm quite muted on a golf course
Okay.
actually.
So when you do a
Yeah, I
big,
don't really.
you do a big straight drive. You're not like, yes, check that out, boys. Who's up next?
Maybe I.
Yeah, see, I know you, mate. I know you. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. I know you.
Right, I don't really have much more to say about that. Burnley look a bit dire straits. Stirling Dyche is happy. Southampton finally turning it around a bit. 1-0, bit boring.
Yeah, not much happened really. I mean, it was
Yeah, I mean,
Burnley. Haven't started
Burnley
well.
signing Dale Stevens, good English name.
Yeah,
Oh,
but they haven't started well. Burnley.
no, were they my surprise package to do badly?
We're going to have to revisit our predictions.
Otherwise, we're just going to rewrite history, and every time a side you think is going to do better has a bad week. I'm pretty sure that was my surprise
I'm pretty
package.
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I had Everton Leicester top 2, actually.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, they're not doing too well. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Dyche walk.
You reckon?
A poor transfer. He doesn't. He wants back in, and I mean, signing Dale Stevens for 1 million. Come on, you've been a Premier League club for like 5 years. Who's siphoning away this money? Christ.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Maybe he will get a bit pissed off.
But Donald Dump. Do some Donald Trump style tax returns here and writing off all manner of things.
Yeah.
Christ.
But yeah, he could.
Donald Dump. Oh, that's a beautiful one.
Maybe he'll be an appointment for someone who's struggling a little bit. Maybe they'll try and lure him away, or he'll conveniently resign at the right time. Yeah.
Does he not have West Brom written all over it?
Oh, he could have West Brom written all over him. Yeah, definitely. I don't think he would. I think he'll buy. Dyche has bought into the hype about himself, and I think he'll do an Allardyce and
Is he gone full Allardyce?
Yeah, I think he could be like, if my name was Dychinio, I'd be managing Madrid. Yeah, not sure. I hope not. Actually, I don't really care because I don't really like Sean Dyche.
No, I'm not the biggest fan. Too gravelly.
Yeah, I'd say I'm very neutral about Sean Dyche. I don't dislike him. I don't like him. So.
And he goes on about diving a lot, and then we had Chris Wood here taking a little bit of a dive, I think.
Yeah, but all players dive. I don't think that's the manager's fault.
Okay, well, let's move on to the Michael Tong derby. Do you remember Michael Tong?
Michael Tong, Portsmouth and... No, Sheffield United.
Leeds, maybe, Dave.
Yeah. I swear he played for Portsmouth.
You had 2 clubs as a gimme there, Dave.
No, I know. That's why I was trying to name the other ones. Wow, I searched for Michael Tongue and it didn't come out with anything. Michael. No, I don't care about him.
Well, we've got. I got to tell you, Dave.
Yeah.
He went from Sheffield United to Stoke. A lot of loan deals. End up at Leeds, then Millwall, Stevenage, and Port Vale, and retired last year. I think.
Oh, there you go. No.
He was talked about in quite high regard in it early on, wasn't he?
He was. Yeah, he was. You're right. No loan spells at Portsmouth then.
He's never even been to Portsmouth, Dave. Whenever they had an away day.
Don't know who I'm thinking of.
Portsmouth, he didn't travel.
Who am I thinking of?
No, he's very much a northern boy, actually. We have Sheffield, Stoke, Preston, Midlands Derby, Preston, Barnsley, Leeds, ventures down to Millwall, likes it, goes to Stevenage, then goes back up a little bit to Port Vale.
Nice.
Yeah, that's all we have to say about Sheffield United Leeds.
No, some good saves. Cracking saves.
Yeah, some good saves. And it's actually quite an exciting 1-0, actually. And it's a change of pace, wasn't it? We've had 7 goals, is it, in both the last 2 games?
Yeah.
So obviously this one's going to be less goals.
Yeah, but I think who's the French guy, the goalkeeper, Méliès, who I said last week, I was like, there's no way he can be their number 1. Pulled off one of the best saves, I'm going to say it right now, of the season.
Oh.
I don't know if you've seen it, but the close range, it was like 6 yards out, half volley.
Yeah, no, it's just
it with his right hand.
He's fast and furious. Yeah, okay.
I'm going to put it up there and say one of the best saves of the season.
He's only young. He's only 20.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm just surprised he's first choice. I know Casillas is in a lot of trouble, as we mentioned on the last pod, but I'm surprised they have stuck with him. And Leeds, good win. Bamford scores another. Can't keep it up.
Yeah, he's not going to carry on, obviously. But so Dominic Calvert-Lewin versus Patrick Bamford. Obviously, they're probably. I'd say Calvert-Lewin's obviously the better player, but Calvert-Lewin's get more goals this season.
Yeah, definitely. Just plays in a more consistent team, I think. Like again, I think Bielsa's team will run out of steam towards the end of the season. They
have their little down patch, don't they? And then rally for the end of the season just to keep themselves alive.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Bamford has benefited from Rodrigo coming in. I think it's made him up his output and his game and his ideas and how he's got to play and sort of buck his ideas. I'm not saying he didn't put the effort in before, but now he's had to do effort and goals, and I think it is showing.
That's what I think last season when Shay Adams joined Southampton, Danny Ings just had a little bit more, and I think that's why Spurs need to sign someone, because it just that's something different, isn't it?
Keeps that pressure on. So
I mean, as I mentioned earlier, Sheffield United is questionable. They get rid of Callum Robinson. It's questionable recruitment for them not to sign a striker. They've got, as I said, 1 goal in the last league games. No goals yet this season. 3 losses. It's pretty bleak.
It is, and lost obviously the goalkeeper that kept them in a lot of games last season.
Yeah.
And it is looking very bleak. And to be on the same amount of games as West Brom and be below them is, I know it's only a point, but is worrying.
Do you want to know their next games?
What, Sheffield United? What are they? Yeah, go on.
Away at Arsenal, home to Fulham. Away at Liverpool, home to Man City. Away at Chelsea.
Wilder gone?
Nah, they'll be sticking through thick and thin.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I mean, also, it would be a big... There's no other manager tactically sort of like what he's doing at the moment, so it'd be a massive change of playing style.
Yeah, he comes in and goes, what the hell is this squad? This fits a very unique system.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Exactly.
We've got no one who can score a goal. These strikers all run around a bit.
Yeah. I mean, that's good. That is a good point. Where are their goals going to come from? We're saying they're not scoring goals, but is it they have to buy a new striker, or is it going to be Lice Mousset will pop up with a few and McGoldrick?
McBurney.
Billy Painter, is he still there?
Billy Sharp.
Billy Sharp. Who's Billy Painter?
I don't know. Isn't like Sharp a type of paint and you mix the two?
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Come on then. The Eric.
And I'm pretty sure I predicted Sheffield United to be a...
Like, come on, Josh. Let's talk about the 97th minute penalty in the...
absolute...
In the what derby? What are we having here? Tottenham for Newcastle?
I didn't even put any effort in. Jonathan Woodgate I put here. I was a bit annoyed.
Come on then. Hit me.
Spurs absolutely dominated this match and they should have scored a lot more goals than won.
Yes.
They should have. I mean, that was our fault. We didn't score more, but you can't allow for... So let me talk you through this goal in case those are unaware. So we have Joe Linton, I think it is, make a head-first dive into Højbjerg. Have a look. I'll tweet the clip. He dives head-first into Højbjerg in midfield. Gets a free kick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, I'm not going to probably argue with anything you say at this point.
Andy Carroll been brought on, and seemingly all Andy Carroll's job was to do was try and head the ball into people's hands. Every single time he got it, he headed it, and they appealed for a handball. It was quite magnificent to watch. So they whip the ball in, and there's a push in the back of Dyer. He goes up with his hands. Andy Carroll's behind him, heads the ball into him from about a yard away, hits his hand. The play goes on, and then nothing much made of it. Then we have, it's being checked. Okay, so it's being checked. We see the VAR check, and then the VAR check moves on to checking for offside. So that means they pretty much, if they're checking that, you pretty much know it's a penalty. You look at the offside. That looks dubious to me at first, to be honest with you, because there's a couple of players offside, and it's touch and go with Andy Carroll. So, and then it confirmed right at the end there that they are giving a penalty to Newcastle to give them their first shot on target all game, to give them the equalising goal. Now, we've got the issue. We've mentioned handball penalties a few times. It's not just VAR, but VAR assists this because this wasn't spotted at the time. There's no issue really. It wasn't spotted. Referee didn't flag for a penalty at the time. Wave play on. So VAR is contributing to this.
Yeah.
And I feel that VAR is trying to... why is VAR getting involved with that? To be honest with you, it's trying to do things which they think are black and white. They've tried to make the handball rule black and white by going, touches his arm, the defender's arm, below the sleeve line, it is a penalty. It's like, that is complete and utter bollocks. Tottenham have given away 2 penalties in the last 2 games. That one from Eric Dyer, and the other one was where the ball was punted in between players and bounced up and hit Doherty's hand in the last minute. It's like, what are you meant to do?
I agree. I don't think there's much you can do in that situation. I think on VAR getting involved, it's part of the reason why I titled this episode Handball with an exclamation mark, because you're going to get people smashed in the face, in the chest, in the arse, and everyone's just going to appeal, and VAR's going to have to check it.
I would love it. I would love it if 2 teams beforehand just agreed, let's try and get as many penalties as we can. Let's chip it up into each other's hands every time, and then you can see what a mockery this is. You've got 10 goals, all from handball penalties.
Yeah.
But they messed it up last year with the attacking play, didn't they?
Yeah.
In terms of any handball in the build-up was deemed, and it would rule out the goal, wouldn't it? So we had players handballing it well early on, and now they've softened
Yeah.
that, which I can kind of understand. Although I think the Chelsea one was a little bit close to call, but now they've ramped up the blimmin' defensive one. Now any hand was
It's very
touched from
interesting
any like.
because I think it was there was who was it? I was going to say Shearer, but it wasn't Shearer. Shearer did moan about it, but there was a pundit that said, "Well, if we get used to it, it makes it more entertaining because there's more goals."
That's a person who's not had it happen to their club.
100%, yeah, I'd agree with that, 100%.
Yeah.
But
Because as soon as your club gets that, you'd be like, "This has ruined it."
yeah,
And he had Callum Wilson going, "What do you think about the handball we were saying?" He's like,
oh yeah,
"Oh, it's brilliant. Scored a goal, didn't I?" Yeah, it's like, I'll have some
he did
awareness,
say it's great for me because I scored a goal, but it would be frustrating if it happens to you, is what Callum Wilson said.
He did say, but I think that was very much he realised he'd gone far too far one way,
Yeah,
and was like, "Oh,
definitely.
yeah."
But I think it's just the thing is they can't change the rule now. There's no way they can change the rule because so many penalties already after 4 games for each, 3 games for each team.
Something changed last year. I was trying to think last night. Something changed last year. Was it? We were heading down a path last year with VAR, and they suddenly changed it. And I think it was like they never really overruled the ref. I think it was.
Yeah.
Ref rarely got overruled. It was like, come on, what? Stop, being your men's club where no one's ever challenging everyone. And I've got a feeling there's got to be some shift change here because this is just ludicrous.
So now, what's happening is that similar to that, where VAR aren't overruling something, what they're doing is they're saying you need to look at that on the monitor, and there's been every single decision that's gone to the monitor.
In this game, the ref went and looked at the monitor. It's like, what? And you think that's
every single decision that's been referred for the ref to look at the monitor has then resulted in that being awarded or rescinded or changed or something like that, because VAR still going, yeah, you need to have a look at that. Which
all they're doing now is doing this token gesture of looking at a monitor. I remember it was in the Champions League, and it's the Turkish ref. I can't remember his name, but I think it was a Man City match for Spurs, and he used the monitor, and he was like, "No, absolutely ridiculous. Move on."
Yeah.
And this time, it just seems like they're just literally. They might as well have their eyes shut, standing in front of that monitor, because the decision's still going to be made, whatever it was. They just now look like they're using a monitor, but nothing's changed in decision terms.
I agree, and it's interesting because it's like there's not. So Ross has commented. Obviously, Ross is a Spurs fan as well, and he said, the worst thing about it is the refs check the screen, so the blame can lie with the ref. But the ref hasn't got the decision wrong because it's hit. His arm and it's hit his hand by the letter of the law.
This is the IFAB rule that has been brought in, and it seems like their pressure's coming on David Ellery. It might be one of these guys that is heading up the rules here and bringing in different rules, which I'm not sure of if it's true or not. But the referee is adhering to it, but it's VAR which is checking for all these handball. There's no check of. I mean, there was another instance with handballs at the other end. Like I think it's Jamal Lascelles and Tanguy Ndombele whips it in, it hits his hand. It's like, why? What happens there? It's just
that's the rule. This new IFA, whatever they're called. The rule, how it's written, is that you just don't worry about what has caused the player's arm to be in an unnatural position. It's just, is the player's arm in an unnatural position? It's a penalty if it hits it. So the fact that Dyer gets lent into or pushed or however you want to describe it by, I think it was Lascelles was behind him, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. If that's not a free kick, but it does push Dyer's arm up to be like that and it hits his arm, then it's a penalty. And it's
for me, it's trying to make handballs black and white where it's not. And it's trying, and so VR's going, we've got this, we can sort this because it's black and white. It touches his hand, yes or no. It's like it's not quite that straightforward.
No, and it's I'm not trying to before I get blamed of saying it wasn't a penalty or it was a penalty or anything like that. I'm just trying to discuss the point, and I think it's a case that VAR is trying to make everything black and white. And when, again, it was the question when VAR first came in, or when replays to view decisions first came in, when do you draw the line at what decisions don't you look at? Are VAR looking at every little niggly foul and then going, you need to bring that back? Why?
No, clearly not, are they?
Exactly. Yeah. And it's like when does that come in? Like you say, why is the Havertz one not brought back? Just because it's a different stage of play, the West Brom could feel aggrieved by that and say we should have won that game because that's a handball. But yeah, it's just frustrating, and there's going to be a lot of frustrating. It does give us a lot to talk about. It hasn't happened. Well, not this season.
We've had 26 games so far.
Yeah,
we've had 21 penalties.
That's insane.
It's absolutely ludicrous, and we'll move on to it now. In the Ben Thatcher derby, we had 3 penalties.
Yeah. 3 penalties for Leicester, wasn't it?
All for Leicester. Jamie Vardy is very, very good at winning a penalty.
He just
very good,
and not in a divey way.
Oh yeah, in a divey way.
Oh, you think divey way?
Oh, his movement is no. He dives brilliantly. He stops himself.
Yeah.
And pings himself up like he's been dramatically tripped. It is, and he's clearly taught that to Maddison, because Maddison does exactly the same thing. Stop, ping down, and it looks horrific.
It does.
And he's fantastic at winning penalties.
Are you saying how many of those are actually penalties then in your mind? I think all 3.
I think they're probably all penalties. Yeah. But I could see like the first one could kind of be going to not give him. But if the player falls in a certain way, like we saw Chris Wood, say for example, he doesn't fall in a dramatic enough way or a believable enough. Because especially, and there'll be some prejudice against Chris Wood because he's a big burly striker.
Yeah.
And he doesn't fall in well, but Jamie Vardy almost leaves it for no doubt that that's been bad. He's pinged up in the air there. It's like,
I think you also get the feeling with Jamie Vardy. I think there's, like you say, Chris Wood has that stigma of he's a big guy, he shouldn't go down that easily. I think Jamie Vardy's sort of thoughts around Jamie Vardy is, well, he would just go directly for goal because he's that sort of goal scorer.
He's so direct, and he moves so quickly. Yeah.
No, I think he's he does exaggerate the fall and exaggerate the dive, but I think his movement to win penalties is spot on. Like when he cuts back against Mendy.
So he gets himself in perfect positions to allow that and nips in front of him like Garcia, just nudge him in the back. Don't be an idiot. I mean, Walker pulling him round the corner there. Idiot. Mendy one clumsy.
Yeah, well, but he draws that clumsiness from the defender. So I think it's a good thing. But again, crazy game. We touched on it at the beginning of the podcast with Man City's signing of defenders. Doesn't seem to help them out. Other than Ake did score.
It's the same issues year after year. Isn't
it is. And they're not going to be able to challenge Liverpool if they defend like that for the league title. They're just not.
So out of the 3, well, not including Ake's, out of the 3 open play goals, which is your favourite? Mahrez right-footed roofing or side netting. Maddison whipped or Vardy flick. Now I don't normally like a little near post flick, but this is so beautiful because it goes up and over the keeper. That's how it's beautiful. I'd
probably still pick Maddison's goal because I do like the way it curled in, and it was a bit surprising to see him shoot from there because it looked like he was shaping for a cross, and that's what's I think confused the goalkeeper. But Vardy's flick, brilliant. All those flicks always have an element of luck, whereas a whip shot, Mahrez's, I think it was I give it to Maddison. I'm going to give it to Maddison. Maddison.
Yeah, I give it to Maddison. Mahrez is just wanting to smash it on target.
Yeah. I think Maddison's was...
Vardy, similar, just trying to get something on it to get it towards the goal, but Maddison is very pronounced and very deliberate.
Yeah. Okay? Yeah. That's what I'd say.
All right, and amazing. Yeah, Leicester 5-2 win with 3 penalties. I mean, first time ever in Pep's career he's conceded 5 goals at home, I think it is.
Is it? Wow. Damn.
Right, let's move on to the Henri Camara derby.
Yes, and before we start chatting this, Josh, I've got a quick question for you.
Go on.
What would you have said was most likely? West Brom to get a draw with Chelsea, Leicester to beat Man City away, or West Ham to beat Wolves at home? Which of those?
Probably West Brom.
You would have said West Brom to get a draw would have been the most likely one. Yeah. So would have I. Yeah, that's how low West Ham have got.
I think David Moyes needs to steer clear, really, doesn't he? He's managing over Zoom.
Get him off the touchline. Let him talk to the... He basically makes him out to be a really good changing room manager. Just get him to do a team talk in the changing room. It's
funny, I always found it weird. Sam Allardyce kind of just moved away from it, but I'd much prefer, if I was a manager, to be...
in the stand.
It just feels like they haven't got the option yet. Be up high. Yeah. Get a sight of it. First half or options. You have a little crane
I
and you can
just
go up something. I don't know. It's just
I don't think you need
because they
to
haven't. They've got
because
TV screens now to
yeah.
watch, and it's just like I've watched full matches, and I've been like on the sideline, similar view to the manager. It's not a great view.
No, but they've all got TVs in their dugouts, haven't they? Ollie Solskjaer watches the
Yeah,
game on his TV rather than.
but you don't get a full sight of it, do you? You get
No,
a sight of what's
true.
in play.
Yeah,
You don't see your left back when you where he's tucked in for the defensive transition or something like that. You don't.
true. Yeah, very
I don't
true.
know.
Yeah, yeah. So, but
I just think, but Sam Allardyce, as soon as it goes badly, the press go, "Oh, it's not on the sideline, so oh
yeah,
god, he's absent there, and it's like, come
yeah,
on,
yeah. But back to the game. Back to the game.
back to the game.
Did you know only two people
Wow.
have scored more goals at home than Jared Bowen in the last 12 months or something? I can't remember the exact stat.
Well, I read a stat something like since the start of the 18-19 season, Souček and Bowen have got like 76 goals combined.
That's a lot of goals. That's
It's a lot of goals, and they're both very effective players. I like Bowen. I've always liked Bowen. Spurs were rumoured to be in for him a few years back when Poch was around, and yeah, I think he's very. But they've got such effective players. Like Antonio is just
I knew you were
from
going
a
to come to.
utility man,
Yeah.
like playing right back. He's now their Premier League side starting number 9, and he's doing
I know.
well.
It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre to see everything he's done in his career. I mean, you'd call him a striker now, but if you were to
Yeah.
when he retires, what's it going to say on Wikipedia for his little like position?
What does it say now?
Utility. It must say utility. It must just say absolute utility. I mean, but he's just a beast. He's really good, and
Bless me.
yeah,
Sorry.
bless you. And he links up with
Wing back, right winger, forward.
yeah.
Lovely.
It's just incredible. But I think he he just does a job. He does the job really well, and he
Yeah,
would
it's
not
a lot
fit
to
in
say.
any other team as a striker.
I don't know. I could see Sheffield United getting some use out of him.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah. So, but yeah, good
I mean,
performance.
Sebastian Haller's got to be thinking, are you kidding me? Like Haller scored his last goal yesterday, and he looked just like whatever.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Could not give an absolute monkeys
he did
yesterday.
look like he didn't give two shits. We got sorry for my language. It is very early in the morning in the UK. We've got a question. How much credit does Nuno have in the bank at Wolves?
Oh, quite a
I
bit.
think plenty.
I'd
Yeah,
say.
I think he needs to go on a bit
Yeah,
of a
plenty.
wayward run to.
But I've kind of spoken about it over the last few years, and it's never really come to fruition. I remember after their first season, they used the fewest amount of players. I was like, it's not going to continue.
Yeah.
They will get injuries, they will get players missing, and they will fall away. And they didn't last year.
Yeah.
It seems like they are now.
It does. It does. It's like
Because one players want to move on. They've had that challenge, and you've seen Potter and Doherty move on, and you go, okay, you replacing them, and it seems like players take a little while to get up to speed. And obviously, Podence, for example, has been there a little while, is a bit more up to speed. But Semedo will take a little while to get up and running at right back. They've had who there,
who are
Play-
there? Yeah.
play yesterday. But yeah,
It's interesting.
it's interesting because Neves was obviously spoken about when they had that brilliant championship season. He was spoken about as being, I think United were linked a number of times, weren't they? And he was spoken about as being the next big thing. Like he's even really underrated. I don't watch enough to know, but
He gets a lot of hype after scoring a bluter, and that's when he scores. They're
Yeah.
all bluters. So
but Moutinho and Neves were left a little bit exposed in midfield, there, and it didn't quite work.
no, I don't know how long the Adama Traore wing back's going to last.
No, that's where he kind of started last
Yeah.
season's kind of upward trajectory, but.
I mean,
Yeah, that should be replaced by Semedo, and him and Traore make one of the quickest right sides of any.
Yeah. but I think we're focusing. Are we? Oh well, I think we are. I think we are. But the question is,
Wolves negativity.
are we focusing too much on the fact that West Ham? Or we're not focusing as much on the fact that West Ham actually played pretty well. They destroyed all the normal traps Wolves would set for someone with like a high line and they're pressing and they just played round it and played over it and
Yeah,
they,
and to be honest with you, I thought they showed signs against Arsenal of doing well with it, and they showed a lot of signs at the tail end of last year where they went on a bit of a run. Antonio scored his goals, and they continued with that style. They've continued with Antonio up front with Fornals, with Bowen, with Souček and Noble and Rice, and he's tried to keep it a similar side, and it is working much better.
yeah.
And I think I've always been a reasonable fan of Moyes. He's made very bad decisions in his career, but and they're not getting helped at all by the owners here. But I don't think all is lost. It may have again fall away, similar to like Everton, the fact that it's a settled 11 that they're using. Is he going to get the same out of it with other players coming in? But I think there's positive shoots there. I mean, you didn't think at the start of this that losing 2 out of 2 would be, and they'd go and smash this 4-0. I'm not sure they'd scored against Wolves in the Premier League.
I was thinking that. I don't have the stats to hand. I was thinking I don't know if they've even scored previously against Wolves. But credit to them, they did well. I just don't have David Moyes on the sideline is what we learned. I think it's what everyone's learned from that.
Have Wolves gone too Portuguese? Maybe they've just gone too many Portuguese players. Yeah.
2 Portuguese. That's
Portuguese,
it's that sort of insight that you get in this podcast. So
absolutely, and the mostly football podcast. Yeah.
And then there's obviously two fixtures today.
Yeah. Yes. What do you reckon? Fulham v Villa, and then Liverpool v Arsenal. What do you reckon, Dave?
I've got Villa winning. I've got a Villa win. I think Fulham are just too rubbish. I can't think of a better word. I just think they're going to struggle too much.
Yeah.
And I think Villa have shown good signs so far. I think they've done okay. Watkins up front he's got 3 goals in the last 3, I think, for Villa.
Yeah, so. And Bertrand Traore came in from Lyon, scored a lovely goal in the Carabao Cup in the week. Yeah, so they've signed well. They've obviously got Emi Martinez last week. Obviously saved the penalty. They won 1-0. Yeah. They seem to have addressed key positions, and yeah, I don't know. I think this might be a score draw. Although draws are hard to come by in the Premier League. West Brom, Chelsea shouldn't have been a draw, and Tottenham Newcastle shouldn't have been a draw. So I'm going to go for a late penalty in this one again. It shouldn't be a draw, but it will be.
You going a handballer?
I'm going handballer.
Handballer penalty, okay. And then it's big one? Arsenal Liverpool.
Liverpool Arsenal, yeah. I think Arsenal done well against top sides. I think again this might be another draw.
You're not going to get 2 draws on the same day, mate. No, doesn't happen. Liverpool win, easy, 3-1.
Really? Yeah. Arsenal don't concede many goals now under Arteta.
No, but I think they're really going to struggle against Mane and Salah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I haven't seen if Tierney's fit or if they haven't have Kolasinac back in the back line.
Yeah. It could be a big difference. Could make a big difference, that.
That will make a big difference, yeah.
Cool. I mean, now we've done the reviews very quickly. Let's have a quick check at the bets. Again, we're still on the screen as we look at the betting thing. And
yes,
you will see I have had 2 big red crosses next to my bets because James Rodriguez...
Is that 2nd week in a row, Dave?
Yeah, 2 weeks in a row, yeah, that I've had nothing come in. 2 weeks in a row, I've gone for James Rodriguez and shots on target. And in both games, he had 1 shot on target.
Are you going to keep this? Is this going to be a recurring bet till it comes in?
No.
Is this a weekly bet now?
No. I'm stepping away from James Rodriguez bets next week, and I'm probably going to. If we do a watch along, I'll put a bet on the Man United Spurs game because we'll be watching it.
I'm pretty sure he'll have 2 shots on target next week, Dave.
What, James Rodriguez to have 2 shots on target?
As soon as you stop betting.
Yeah, cheers, mate. But I might go for someone else with a shots on target because I quite like the angle of the bet. I think it's always something that can come in.
I do prefer betting. I didn't like the fact I placed a bet to be under 2.5 goals.
Okay.
Because that bet can kind of go away straight away. Yeah. I like the bet that it's over because you're always within a chance. So with that one, it's like you're always wanting more. It might come along. Whereas if you said James Rodriguez to have no shots, you're like, don't shoot.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you want to encourage
as soon as you had a shot, you're like,
the attacking play. You want to encourage the attacking play of your bets generally. But yeah, I had James Rodriguez to have 2 or more shots on target in the game. Didn't come in because he had 2 shots at goal, 1 on target. And then I had my second bet was Chelsea with a -1 handicap, so that got written off. Mayaka got written off on the first day. Tottenham Newcastle to draw and Leeds to win. So Chelsea let me down. So
lovely.
Yeah.
Well, Dave. Yeah.
You got let down by Leeds as well, sort of.
I get let down by Leeds because I thought penalty, so I had there better to be a penalty in the Sheffield United Leeds match. Did not come in, but my treble did come in. So
Did.
I had both teams to score in the Palace Everton tick. I had over 2.5 goals in the West Brom Chelsea match, massive tick, and under 2.5 goals in the Burnley Southampton tick. Brought me in £2.45.
It did.
Or £2.46 actually, because Bet365 again giving me a little treat for cashing out.
Unbelievable. So what does that take your total credit to?
My current balance.
Yeah, because obviously I filled in your little green bar on the thermometer, so you're now in the positive. But I think I may have been too lenient.
£17.46p.
Yeah, I think you've got more than me. I can't check mine until I'm on a VPN, but I think you may have slightly more. I think I'm £16 something after this week. So Josh has taken the lead, I think, in the betting.
I think we also need to do a count as well. So obviously I've had 2 bets come in. You've had 1 bet come in. A kind of bet place bets one, just so we can go. Yeah, I've won. 20% of my bets or something.
Sure, I can add that graphic into the new format we've got going on.
I want to just satisfy your graphic creating desire.
I was chatting to some friends of mine in London, and they follow the podcast, and I was watching the games with them over Skype, and I said, they're like, why do you call it sensible betting? Because all your bets aren't sensible. And I went, it's not sensible betting in terms of the bets we put on, it's the amount of money we're spending.
Yeah, so it's sensible in terms of having fun. It's a bit of fun.
It's a bit of fun.
Just a bit.
It's a bit of fun. So, and as the little ticker says down the bottom, visit gambleaware.co.uk. I've put that in because everyone does it.
Is the graphic called the funometer? Is that what we were fun?
The funometer. Yeah, it was the thermometer. Yeah. The funometer. Yeah. So good. Cool. Well done, Josh, for the bets. We'll be tweeting out for next week. Next weekend's games. We'll be tweeting out probably. It's normally you on a Friday and me on a very early Saturday morning for the UK, because I do it Saturday my time in the morning. So excellent. Right, moving on then. I got a wiki file. Here comes a wiki file. I got a wiki file for you. Hey, well, Josh actually has a wiki file for me, and it's on the screen now, and I'm pretty sure he's picked this because it starts with the youth career at Fisted. So childish.
Oh, Dave, you know me well.
Childish.
Yeah. Fisted in his youth career. Christ.
So youth career, he was fisted. Is that this? Thisted. It'd be, yeah. And then in 95 to 98, he went to. Well, I mean, we don't know when he was when he started his youth career, so he could have been 10 when he was put in the first team. So
yeah.
ABBA, AAB Augsburg, is it? Is that their full name? AAB Augsburg?
Oh, you've got more knowledge to me there, Dave.
95 to 98, 3 years there, 86 appearances, 10 goals. So I'm immediately drawn to think that he's Danish. 98 to 2000, Ajax, 55 appearances, 12 goals. Midfielder, maybe. 2000, 2004, Chelsea, 88 appearances, 7 goals. So 2 more appearances than he had at AAB Augsburg. I'm going for it. I'm sticking with it. And 3 less goals. 2004 to 2005, Birmingham City, 16 appearances, 0 goals. He then got moved to Atletico Madrid in 2005, 16 appearances, again 0 goals. Then to
love that stat,
Germany, yeah, he did. 2005, 2006, Stuttgart, 25 appearances, 0 goals. 2006 to 2011, Copenhagen, 114 appearances, 16 goals. Now he's got to be Danish because he's got the bookend of Denmark.
He is Danish.
So I'm going to go with Jesper Grønkjær.
It is Jesper Grønkjær, yes.
Excellent. I thought Chelsea to Birmingham, I think is what I remember. I don't really remember him at Atletico Madrid.
No, I don't remember. I think that's obviously pre Simeone Atletico.
Definitely, yeah. 2005, yeah. Chelsea owner in 2004, 2002.
So he was pre Abramovich era. I think he was ousted in the Abramovich era.
Okay, good little winger, Jesper Grønkjær. Good little winger, not too bad. I was going to say he had a spell at Charlton.
Yeah, he was kind of that mould of nippy Danish wingers in the Rommedahl era, wasn't he?
That's who I was thinking of, Rommedahl. Yeah, Rommedahl at Charlton. So,
yeah, feeding John Dahl Thomason up front.
Yes.
With Thomas Helbeg and Martin Laursen.
Tore Andre Flo.
No, he's Norwegian.
He's definitely Norwegian. They should have a Scandinavian team. That's what I think. God, if they had, it would have been Flo and Larson up front. Oh,
Nice.
That would have been lovely. Yeah, that would have been lovely.
Yeah, maybe it should be a Scandinavian versus Iberian. No, Iberian would be too good.
Yeah.
Scandinavia versus
UK.
UK. You got Scandinavian UK crossover.
You'd have
That'd be a nice one.
basically the England team with Ryan Giggs and Gareth Bale.
If you're doing it now, you got Gareth Bale,
Ramsey, maybe.
Ramsey, maybe. Well,
That's about it.
bleak, isn't it?
But then if you're doing it,
oh no, maybe Andy Robertson.
yeah, Fraser Forster.
No, definitely Andy Robertson. Yeah.
Andy Robertson or Tierney.
Nah, Andy Robertson. And then you obviously got Erling Haaland. Alexander Sorloth, who is just an absolute physical. But obviously he transferred this week.
Oh yeah.
Signed to Leipzig. If you haven't, check out Alexander Sorloth's kind of YouTube highlights. Players bounce off him. He is so big and strong. It's absolutely hilarious to watch.
He is good. He is very strong. I'm gutted it didn't work for him at Palace. I think he would have been quite good, but.
Yeah. Well, they were kind of tied into a sale, weren't they?
Yeah.
They had an agreement with Trabzonspor to sell him, either to them or they take a 50% cut of his next transfer. So that's why they sold him on to Leipzig to get more money.
Yeah. But it's
But Trabzonspor money.
Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. I think I'm just trying to think who else they could have up front. Would you put Timo Pukki as a superstar off the bench to get a goal for Scandinavia?
You'd have him there. You'd have him milling around, wouldn't you? Denmark, Sweden. Who's Swedish? No, Zlatan's around.
Zlatan's still around. Yeah. You'd have Zlatan and Haaland up front. How about that? Cool.
That would be. Is Haaland arrogant? I don't know. It's got some confidence there, hasn't it?
I think it's youthful confidence, yeah, not rather than arrogance.
Oh, more country crossovers. Make international football a bit more interesting. Merge countries. All these countries becoming independent and creating their own new countries. Let's bring them back together.
Wouldn't it be great if you had, like, the Euros, the Copa America, the Northern America, and Africa? So they have all their individual cup competitions, and then the winning manager of that nation picks a unified. Sorry?
The team of the tournament?
Yeah, picks a team of the tournament, and they go and play each other in a unified world-conquering team.
Yeah.
This really makes you want to go and do that on PES.
Yeah, that's what I loved about Pro Evo, is Euro All-Stars and World All-Stars. Loved it.
Yeah, they did, yeah. So, right, I feel like we've gone to a tangent, so...
Yeah, some of us had to get to work.
Yeah, good luck. I've got to go back to work, technically, but...
Yeah.
I mean, it's 20 past 4, so not long left of work.
Well, thank you for listening, everybody. With new graphics, hope you like it. Again, let us know if you'd like us to do a normal pod or a watch-along next week for Spurs v Manchester United, or Manchester United v Spurs, I think it is. But yeah, get in contact, subscribe, like. You can catch us, obviously, on YouTube, on SoundCloud, on Spotify. All links are available in our YouTube channel or above where Dave is kind of
No, the links are down below, but I'm pointing to like, share, and subscribe is up.
And catch us on Twitter. Remember,
there's no A in football at the moment.
No A in football at the moment until we rebrand.
We might be rebranding. I don't know. Now I've done all of this, I don't want to. It's Josh's choice. He's got the merch. He's the only one with merch. So if he wants to rebrand, he's got to rebrand his merch.
I have to get a new Christmas present, won't I?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Right.
All right. Until then, goodbye.